Hi everyone, welcome back to Liz Sews and my monthly makes video, which is always my favorite time of the month. So for the month of October, I tried to stick with a sort of like Halloween-y theme with lots of greens and purples, and I'm really excited to show you everything that I've been up to this month. So let's switch my camera down to the top-down view and we can take a look at all of them.
So first up in October, of course, we have my Disney Bounding in the Bedroom project. If you want to learn more about it, I have a series of videos that I've linked up in the iCards above here, so you can learn more about the construction process. But this is a corset that was inspired by Maleficent. I thought that was kind of like a cool idea for October to sort of like switch it up and do an evil character instead of a princess. So the interior of this corset is completely made with black couture, and then I've just covered my facings with a little purple ribbon. And then on the outsides, the centermost panels are done with just a lambskin leather that I had left over from when I used to do bag making a couple years ago. And then an aubergine lingerie satin and a black lingerie satin to give it just a really cool look. I'm hoping to insert some videos over here of me wearing this corset so you can get an idea of what it looks like on. This one was based off of the Sylvia pattern from Arinia Black. This is a free pattern to use, but you have to have some like sort of background knowledge in corset making in order to get it to a workable level, because you know it doesn't have seam allowances or any of those things like that. I've also altered it pretty significantly up along the neckline to get this like sort of like exaggerated point. It is an over bust corset, but I have, you know, brought the bust point up a lot higher and then also dropped the center front down a lot lower than the original pattern. The original pattern sort of like is more of a sweetheart neckline across here. So in addition to the corset, I did make some matching underwear to go along with Maleficent, just using some really nice stretch satin in that same sort of like aubergine purple color. I really love the textures of having the leather and the satin and the velvet. I just think it looks very luscious and unctuous and regal. So very happy with how this set turned out. Nowhere to wear it, but it's one that I'm really proud of, especially because of all the pattern manipulations that went on in the corset itself. So to go along with the underwear, I made a more wearable version of Maleficent, and this one is using some violet lingerie tulle that I purchased from Erin shop, as well as this black lace accent that I purchased from Erin. She made a bra very, very similar to this last year, maybe it was this year. She used the Queen of Suburbia Adrian pattern. Queen of Suburbia has since gone or closed her business, so their pattern is no longer available. So I used just, you know, my Black Beauty pattern that I converted into diagonal seam because that is the most comfortable iteration of that pattern for me right now. So I did the diagonal seam. I did a Gothic arch in the center just because I thought it lent itself to the sort of like Gothic feel of this. And I ended up inserting this black lace trim. I just hand sewed it in. So I covered the upper edge of the bra with black fold over elastic, but then I went ahead and hand sewed in this lace. That way I could weave the ribbon in and out. And I really like the addition of the purple ribbon. I think it's a perfect accent, and I like how it really shows off that lace a little bit more to have that like purple break in there. So very happy with how this one turned out, and I think it looks pretty cool with the velvet underwear. And this is something that I could much more easily slip into my everyday rotation. Like this I could probably wear under sweaters or something like that, because the bow might show up if I put something thin like a t-shirt over top of it, but I could certainly wear this under a sweater or sweatshirt or something like that, and you know, feel like that spicy Maleficent Disney villain on the inside that nobody knows about. So my purple and chartreuse bra sort of morphed into two bras. If you watched my plans video, I had said that I was going to try to do something that was similar to Gravity by Grandy's tulip bra that she made a couple months ago. And I got like one cup way in, and I just didn't like how it looked out. It started to look more sort of like Harlequin to me than tulip. I do not have the drafting skills that Grandy does. She is very, very skilled at making these unique patterns where you know, the seam line doesn't cross through the bust point, and I don't have the same skills as her. So I got one cup done, and I sort of like pinned it onto my dress form, and I decided that this wasn't something that I wanted to continue on with. I also was having a lot of trouble just getting it all clean on the inside. You know how I really like all of my tucked away seams, and this just was not doing it for me. So I scratched this idea, and then I made this bra here, which is a Fenway bra. On this version of the Fenway, I've actually gone back to the original demi wire in this bra instead of, if you've watched my channel in the past, you know that I took my Fenway pattern and I altered it to use my classic day style wire, which is a little bit taller in the center front. So I dropped this one back down to that original height just because I kind of wanted to. I don't know why. And then I used Golden Pear sheer cup lining. So this is sheer cup lining that I've dyed in the color Golden Pear, as well as full over elastic, and then that plum lace going along just the bottom of the cup to get that good contrast in there. I wanted to use the Fenway bra because I wanted something that would really highlight that high contrast between the Golden Pear and the plum, and I think it worked out really well. I quite like this bra. It's sporty. It's a lot sportier than most of the bras I wear. I'll say that the Fenway gives me much more of like a compressed, smooth, rounder shape versus the type of bra that I normally go for, which is like a balconette style that gives me just a little bit more pointiness and shape. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just I'm so small that I feel like this also almost like makes me look like I have nothing once I wear clothing over top of it. But I go back to the Fenway quite often just because now that I've worked on my pattern, I do think that it fits me rather well. And I like to have some different style lines in my collection. So here is the Fenway, but once I made this, I was like, I had all of this really gorgeous chartreuse lace, so I wasn't being able to utilize in this at all. I guess I could have put the lace here and done the scallop edge of the lace along the neckline, but I didn't think about that. So I went ahead and used the chartreuse lace in its own bra, which is this one over here. And so this one is the Lansdowne bra from Orange Lingerie. It's a pattern I picked up a couple months ago and I've been really enjoying it and liking it. And I've just done a complete all over lace version of this. So this lace I originally purchased from the Tailor Made Shop, and then I purchased another 3 yards from an AliExpress seller. I don't think Ying at the Tailor Made Shop carries it anymore, so I'll go ahead and link the AliExpress seller down in the description box below if you like these sort of colors like I do. And because it's a stretch lace, I could go ahead and use it across the entirety of the bra. So on the front of the bra, obviously it's lined with a non-stretch lining to give me my stapleness right at the side cradle and the bridge. But then the back portion here is lined with some My Nude power net. So it looks really, really seamless from the front of the bra. It just looks like all lace, and then on the back is where you get all the technical functions in there. So like I said, I used a sort of My Nude color power net and sheer cup lining, and then for the cups themselves, I've gone ahead and used that same Golden Pear sheer cup lining that I had dyed for this bra over here. Use that in the cups just to make sure the cups were super vibrant and colorful. And all of the findings were dyed myself as well, using that Golden Pear dye from Pro Chemical and Dye. So I really, really like this bra. I need to make underwear for it. I know that I say that a lot, but I'm planning in the next couple of months to like really buckle down and focus on making bottoms that match all of my beautiful bras from this year. So that's coming up probably, I'm thinking December. It's just a month of like underwear, and this is one that I definitely want to go ahead and get a matching underwear to go with it, because I think this might be the type of bra that I would live in. I like that it's soft, it doesn't have any foam in it. It's a partial band, which can be a little bit more comfortable sometimes just because you don't get the rolling. And I believe this one is a demi wire as well, a little bit shorter in the center front, which works better on me. So next up, I have this really pretty lavender bra. When I showed it on Instagram, a lot of people said that it reminded them of like wispy like trees, the silhouette of trees that have lost all of their leaves, and I thought that was a really cool idea. So I had intended on making a bra in the same material for my mom as well. That is still the plan. However, the pattern isn't worked up yet to the point where I can make her a bra. So I went ahead and made one for myself, and I will make her one as soon as she has the pattern, hoping I can get it done this year, but if not, whenever. No pressure, Mom. So this one, I've used this lace that I purchased from the Tailor Made Shop, and then the pattern that I've used is the Exquisite bra pattern from AFI Atelier. I really have been enjoying that pattern. I worked on it a little bit more in terms of fitting. I was finding that the underarm edge here was cutting into me and a little bit uncomfortable in the couple bras that I've made using this pattern. So I worked on changing that and sort of like shifting the strap attachment over a little bit. Using some of my other patterns to get an idea of how much of a scoop that I wanted in this underarm section, and it was pretty successful. I think this one is a lot more comfortable than the other ones I've worn. Some other things that I did on here is I've used this flat elastic, so it looks a lot like fold over elastic, like it's stretchy like that, and it has like a matte and shiny side, but there's no fold line in it, and it's about 3/8 of an inch wide. And I've done that and applied it, just edge stitched it along all of my seams in this bra cup to sort of like accentuate them a little more. And the reason that I did that is just because so I'm cutting this out with a scalloped edge going along the straight edge of all of my cut pieces. And that meant that I was getting a lot of like weird angles from the arches in here, and I thought it looked a little disjointed. And so I felt like having that harsh line of the elastic in there sort of like broke it up and not camouflage, but made it less noticeable that we had a bunch of different like grains running in this. So quite happy with how this bra turns out. I think it looks really fantasy. Certainly could be involved in the Disney project if I wanted it to, just because it has that sort of like fantasy fairy tale look to it, but it's just another great bra to add to my collection. So the next project is not one that was in my monthly plans video, but I just got this kit in from Erin, and it's so perfectly like Halloween-y that I felt like I just had to make it in October. I couldn't wait. So it's this really lovely chartreuse and black lace, and then for the design on it, I've chosen just a 2-piece vertically seamed cup, so you can see the vertical seam is running right down there. And I think with this lace, like simple is better, like that's what Erin says. So I didn't want to like break up the design a lot. I'm actually pretty happy that the way that the seam comes in there, it sort of like continues the line of that black detail on the lace. That's kind of cool. And then in order to spice it up, I just put one simple little like fold over strap, just ranging from the bridge up to a little strap attachment point here. I've been doing this a lot lately because when I do the straps in, like if I just connect the strap or the extra accessory strap to where the bra strap attaches to the bra, then you don't really see it. So what I like to do is run just a little piece of strap elastic that's like an inch and a half or 2 inches, and I'll put rings on either side of it, and then that's what I run the fold over elastic to. And then of course the rest of the strap over here is your normal adjustable bra strap. But that way it sort of like sets it up higher and gives it a little bit different of a feel. So you can see here that I have inserted it into the bra itself when I was doing the underwire channeling. So I did it from the inside there, so I get a nice clean finish. But then when the bra is worn, it has that nice cool effect of that extra strappy detail. So really happy with how this bra turned out. So just that green lace on the outside and then black findings, which came in the kit. And then the interior is lined with, I just did a single layer of the bra tulle that came in the kit. And that's because the lace itself is 2 layers, so it's quite sturdy, but I just wanted a little bit more of stability in one direction, so that's why I only just did the 1 layer bra tulle on the inside. And I think I've worn this a day, and you can see from both directions it's still fairly firm. I'm not getting a whole lot of stretch, and it didn't like bag out at all. So I think the single layer was fine, at least for my size, but very happy how this turned out. So once I did this bra, I loved it so much I needed to make a matching bottom to go with it. So I did a pair of Vera panties, and this pattern comes from Studio Costura's shop. So I just did that little like non-stretch lace detail in the front here, and then it has some bra strap elastic, and then I used some stretch mesh in the back in black that has a little bit of that French dot design, and Emerald Erin carries this as well. I kind of like it for something that looks just a little bit different than your standard black micro mesh, to have that little French dot in there. It looks really, really cute. So, I mean, these are a very fast make, but I just wanted to have a complete set. And so this is my like Halloween set that I'm definitely going to wear on Halloween because I was really happy with how it turned out. Last up, I have sort of like a freebie. This bra did not appear in my sewing plans video, but Stephanie Sews on Instagram made up a bra using this lace, and she did such a good job. I thought it was absolutely gorgeous. I have this lace. I decided I needed to make one for myself as well. So what I've used is a vertical seam two-piece cup. This is one that I've drafted myself, sort of based off of a well-fitting block. I worked a little bit up here because I wanted a little bit more upper cup coverage. So the ones that I had made previously probably cut like this, whereas this one I tried to get a little bit more of a sweetheart neckline, so you have more dramatic of a V right here, so the strap is attaching a little bit higher. I quite like how it looks. It cuts in ever so slightly on the underarm edge here, so I think what I'm going to do is go into my pattern piece and maybe cut in from the underarm edge to my seam and just open this up by maybe like a 1/4 of an inch, just a little bit, to give me a little bit more room right here on the underarm edge. But other than that, I'm quite liking the fit of this pattern. I think the way that Stephanie Sews made it is just absolutely gorgeous, where you have these sort of flowers running across the neckline here and across the bridge, and then you just see sort of like the stems on the side. I think she used the chic pattern from AFI Atelier, but I decided to use one that was similar to that, but will give me the same effect. I've just done some black fold-over elastic along the upper edge because this lace didn't have a finished edge. This lace had sort of like raw edges on the top and bottom of it, so it needed a neckline finish. So fold-over elastic it is, but really, really like how this one turned out. I think it's gorgeous. I don't think I ever would have arrived at this pattern configuration for the lace on my own, but it makes a lot of sense once you see it. I've also put in a sort of gothic arch here. I've been putting these in a little bit frequently lately just because I've been enjoying it. I like how it adds a little bit of interest. It sort of like breaks me out of my rut, and just like I like that little like point that it makes in the center front. The interior of this bra, not a whole lot to see. It's all black on black with black. So black sheer cup lining, black elastics, and because that tulle was black as well, it sort of really just makes those flowers pop in there, and I think it looks really pretty. To finish it off, I just used some gold findings. I thought the gold really picked up that sort of like pale goldish green that's in the stems of the flowers. I liked how that looked as well. So that's the final bra that I've made for October. I hope everyone has enjoyed a look at the things I've been making for October. Let me know down in the comments below what your favorite one was, and I will see everyone next time. Take care.